Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zoom room. Do you think they named it Zoom because it rhymes with room and you can just like say Zoom room? Anyways, I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to trickle on in. There was about 50 people registered. I expect maybe a fraction of that here today because a lot of people want the recording, which you will also get. It looks like I did my hair today, but I in fact need to wash it. So I just want to point that out that I'm pretty impressed with my hair and the reflection of the Zoom. Curly hair problems. I blow dried it and I'm in the middle of moving and I couldn't find any of my hairstyling tools. And this is just how it ended up. So that's cool. So I just, as we welcome people in, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for deciding to spend the next hour or so with me. We're going to talk about how to F the algo, how to tell stories in the digital space. Algorithms are important. We're going to dive into all of that. So just a couple housekeeping things. You want to take photos and share anything about me, go for it. I'll drop all my contact info at the beginning and the end, but I just want to invite you to tag me. If you post anything, I will always reshare it unless it's not very nice, then I might not reshare it. I want to just start off by maybe we can all have an opportunity to introduce ourselves in the chat. I'm not going to be able to go around the room, but why don't we in the chat, just let us know who you are, what you do, and where you're located. It was super cool. Last time I did this workshop, we had people from Spain and England and all over North America. So just take a moment and drop in the chat who you are, what you do, where you are. This is kind of like a good opportunity to network. Kelly's in Vancouver. Hey, Kelly in Vancouver. Kelly, what do you do? Let us know. So for example, if I were able to type and talk at the same time, I would write, I'm Blair Kaplan-Venables. I'm a social media marketing expert and mentor. I empower entrepreneurs to up-level their social media skills. I'm located in Kamloops. Or I might just say Blair, social media expert in Kamloops. Or I might just say Blair. But Lisa from Winnipeg, senior moving company. Oh, Lisa's amazing. She actually helped us pack up my mom's entire house and that phenomenal service. Kelly is a social marketer, real estate student. I love that. Who else is here? This is what I like about this. It's cool because I know you guys are all over the place. We got Sol in Tawasin, Elizabeth in Richmond, Patricia in Ladner. Tracy's in America. Are you going to type in here, Tracy? Yes, she is. She's typing. I was just saying before you got on, Tracy, that like it's hair wash day, but my hair looks really done and it looks like I got a blowout. Tracy's a personal stylist, so I just had to point that out. So yeah, just let's take an opportunity, drop in who you are, what you do, where you are. If you're looking for a specific type of connections, this might be a good opportunity to scroll through. What I really love about being at events like this is that digital events, you're able to meet a lot of people. And when the pandemic first started, I was like, duh, how am I going to network? I love a good schmooze. My business is mostly referrals. And what I learned was going to virtual events. It's amazing because I can connect with people. If someone has something, and they say in the chat or out loud that resonates, I might private message them and connect. And I think what's really cool is that you have this opportunity to connect to a global audience. And I learned that at virtual events, I'm actually able to make more connections and deeper connections than at in-person events. So that's super cool. So we got people still introducing themselves. If you're new to the Zoom room, thanks for taking the time to be here today. We're going to talk about how to F the algo. And I just want to welcome you to a Friday workshop. Some of you are going to be late. Some of you are going to be tuning in later to the replay. Some of you are maybe watching this in 4 months from now because you somehow accessed it through a community offering that I'm going to have come out. But I just want to say that there is no right or wrong way to post on social media because what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. But I can tell you what does work for everyone, and it's telling stories. Okay, telling stories. So, I just want to put a little bug in your ear. And as you go through this presentation, I want you to keep an open mind. But I want you to stop Googling how to get more views on videos on YouTube, how to get more followers, how to get more likes. Because let me tell you, yes, I have lots of followers on one platform or the other, but some of my posts maybe only have 20 likes, 30 likes. And I decided a while ago to stop posting for the likes, stop posting for the follows, and to start posting from the heart, start posting my authentic story. And from shifting from a place of posting what the experts were saying, experts like me were saying to hack the algorithm and get my posts in front of more people, I decided to approach my marketing with a storytelling approach. And let me just tell you that this last year, and if you've been following along, you know what I've been through, and I'm just gonna high level say, like, this is a bit of a trigger warning, but my life has been very difficult. But because I put systems in place, I was able to post really authentic stuff about losing my mom, having a miscarriage, but also have some of the biggest successes of my business, 5-figure launches, 5-figure days, doing all of these things. And because I've switched my marketing strategy to what I'm about to teach you, it feels good when I post. I'm posting when I want to. I'm posting what I want to. And I just want to say that you can do it too. Everyone can do it. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to be able to see you. So you can type into the chat, and then I'll come back and address questions later. This is the first time I'm doing this presentation live, so bear with me. I love that my name rhymes with everything. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. And yeah, some people might be coming late, so if I get awkward, it's because I'm letting them in. But I'm so excited because I need to find the little thingamajigger here. Okay, let me just get rid of this. And let's just go big. Oh, nope, that there. You know, all right. Okay. That's me. But I want to go to the first page. F the algo. So if you're like, Blair, what's F the algo? I mean, fuck the algorithm. And you know what? I feel like, you know how your phone listens to you? I feel like my phone is listening to me. And ever since I started really actively talking about this, I'm like, because I'm like talking about effing the algo, I wonder if social media is not showing my posts to as many people. But that's obviously just like crazy talk, because I really don't think social media can do that, but maybe. So this is about storytelling. And actually, I'm just going to pop in. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to close my door because my husband just got home and I didn't think he'd be home. All right, I'm back. So who am I? I am Blair Kaplan Venables, born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, made my way with Lululemon across Canada, ended up in Vancouver, love Vancouver, wanted to do PR. At the age of 23, at the beginning of the recession, I quit my job with Lululemon and started my own PR company. And at that time, social media marketing wasn't even a job, but people were meeting with me saying, Blair, do you know how to do social media marketing? Do you know how to do PR and social media? And my answer was always yes, even though I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But I figured it out. And now I can proudly say my business is over 13 years old. I'm a social media marketing expert and mentor who empowers you to up-level your social media skills. My expertise has been featured in Forbes, Thrive Global, Entrepreneur. I've been on radio. I have a segment coming out on TV on the show called Money Matters in the fall. Sorry, not the fall. Well, it's November, fall. I guess it depends on where you live. Long story short, I love social media marketing. I love empowering you. And that is why I'm doing this workshop today. I'm also the creator of something called the Social Media Empowerment Pillars. So this is a system I created. And these 7 pillars are required in your social media strategy to help you become a thought leader in your industry. Okay. So there's edutain, which is educating and entertaining. That's all things content. M is for money. That's budget and goals. P is for personas. Who are your customers? O is for the other players. W is for the wins. You need that publicity. You need that PR. You need that thought leadership. E is for engagement, to be a human on the other end of the content being pumped out. And R is for the realistic goals. What is your future? I actually teach on these pillars, and I have a program, a group coaching program coming out, and I'll talk a bit about that at the end. But today we're really going to focus on edutain, the E pillar. And so let's start off by talking about algorithms, okay? And algorithms versus storytelling. An algorithm in social media is basically a technical means of sorting posts based on how relevant it is to users instead of published time. I don't know if you remember way back when, but like it used to be when you make a post, it showed up in a specific order on someone else's newsfeed, but that's not how it is now. And every single social media platform has its own algorithm, has its own algorithms. So different systems within the platform that will tell the platform which content to show when and to who. Sounds pretty complicated. And that's because it is. Because you know what? We don't actually know what the algorithms are. Sometimes platforms will say, if you do this, it's going to be good. And if you do that, it's not going to be good. So we got some doodles going on. I like it. I like it. What are we drawing? Okay. So anyways, there are certain things I know you can do so your posts are shown more. Really basic things that don't have to do with hacking the algorithm. By the way, the word hack to me is really gross. I just think of like my grandma and her like gross smoker's cough, like at the casino, hacking. Like, let's not hack anything anymore. Okay. So things that you can do that we know that work, that isn't like too brainy trying to crack a code. When a social media platform has a new feature, use it. So for example, putting out videos, putting out reels on Instagram, good. But it's also good to still just put out regular photos on Instagram. But whenever any social media platform has a new feature, they want you to use it. And if you use it, they're probably going to show your post to more people. So that's a little tip. Storytelling, what storytelling it does, it describes the social and cultural activity of sharing stories, right? We all have a story. We all have a story for what we do. We all have a story for why we do it. So what are you doing and why are you doing it? You didn't just wake up one day and you were doing it. There's a whole process. And the thing is, when you tell stories, people engage, right? I really believe in telling stories and not selling. I like to say, tell, don't sell. Always be telling a story. Storytelling is how you're going to build a relationship with the future customers. It's how you're going to maintain the relationship with your current customers. It's how you're going to build those fans, build those followers. Hey, do you know who Blair is? You know what? I heard her tell this story about social media. You should really follow her because she really, really tells hilarious stories. Or, you know what? You should follow Blair because she has curly hair and she sometimes shares how she gets her hair so curly. Like whatever it is I'm telling stories about, they all have to do with me and the industry I'm in. And some of my stories are short stories, like maybe I just recently moved into a house. So maybe over a week I was documenting, the renos, or really long stories. Like I have 3 cats. I had 2 cats and I documented their life all the time on social media. Then when my mother passed away, I got her cat, which was actually originally my cat, and she's 17. And now if you follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting about the cats. It's like I'm in the Golden Girls. I'm the Golden Girls of cats. It's hilarious. But I'm telling stories. And the thing is, if I don't post about the cats for a while, I have friends and strangers reaching out. How's Zena doing? Hey, how are the cats liking your new home? People are invested in my cats. People are invested in my life because I tell stories. And they don't all have to do with business, but they have to do with me, and I run my business. Telling stories builds the like, know, and trust factor. You have this opportunity to be extremely creative. You can be as vulnerable as you want. You can tell stories that come out from your vulnerability. You can have a lot of fun and you can be real. So when you switch into storytelling mode and not hacking the algorithm mode, it opens up a lot of doors because you no longer have rules to follow. So what I'm about to share with you is not rules. There are tips. There are ways that things work for me. There are ways that things work for other people. And you don't have to do any of this, but I want to just open up your mind to the possibility of using some of these little tips and tricks. So first of all, I want to talk about this for a second here, this book. I don't even know if you can actually see me, but it's called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. It's so funny. This is my second book because I bought a book and made a whole bunch of notes. And when I was moving, like while I was moving from Pemberton to Kamloops, I was also selling my mom's home in Winnipeg. So my mother-in-law and my husband helped pack up our life in Pemberton, and this book went missing. But so I bought it again. It's a really good book and it has some really great framework in it. And it's about, it really talks about how your customer is the hero. When you're telling a story, you aren't the hero. Your customer is a hero. And the story brand has a 7-part framework. Okay, Donald Miller, he created this. And it's really a great way to look at telling stories, building out websites, even creating content on social media. And this framework is a way of structuring your marketing message around your hero's journey. And we're not going to go super deep into it. I do recommend actually buying the book or taking a course about building a story brand. I really like it. I read a lot of business books. I read a lot of rock star autobiographies, and like, it's not often I read a business book twice, but I'm going to clearly read this book twice. So we're going to this is where you pull out your pen and paper, put your fingers on your keyboard. We're going to do a little bit of working, brainstorming, thought showering right now, because I want to kind of walk you through this framework. Okay. So let's talk about an example in relation to social media. So a character who wants something. So the person who follows you on social media, think about your followers on social media, or the person you want to follow you on social media encounters a problem. They have a problem and they're following you maybe for that solution. They meet a guide, they come across your content, your platform, and you give them a plan. So maybe a tip, or you engage them, or you vortex them into your content. You edutain them and calls them to action. Call to action button, a tip, something that you can give them that results in a little win or leaves them wanting more, which results in a success story. So they do the thing. They do the thing you want them to do. Maybe it's to follow you or to engage with your content or to sign up for your newsletter or join you at a free masterclass on effing the algorithm. And then it helps them avoid failure, which is something you want to remind them that if they don't do this, if they don't follow you on social media or buy your product or service, there's going to be a failure. Okay. So that there's a bit of a formula there. And this is, we guys can go down to Google Vortex, but just bear with me. So let's talk about social media followers write down, describe your persona. Who do you want to follow you on social media? Who's your ideal customer? So for me, I'm a social media marketing expert and mentor who empowers entrepreneurs. My ideal social media follower is an entrepreneur. My second one is a marketer, because a lot of marketers don't know social media marketing, especially the older school marketers who learned well before the world of social media. So who is your ideal social media follower or followers? So take a minute and write that down. I'm going to just have a little sip of coffee here. It's raining where I am. Third cup of coffee for the day. Now let's talk about the problems you solve. I empower you to up-level your social media skills. I teach you social media. The problem you have is frustration on social media, not knowing how to do social media or not knowing how to do social media well. What is the problem your business solves? Write that down. Now, what are the solutions you offer? How do you solve that problem? So I solve that problem because I do private coaching and group coaching, and I have various products. How do you solve that problem? And what happens if they don't buy your products or services? Well, if you don't come to my workshop, you're not going to know how to F the algo. If you don't follow me on social media, you're not going to really know how to make great stories. If you don't work with me one-on-one, you may not stand out from the competition. You might not be seen as a thought leader on social media. So what happens if they don't buy your products or services? And then I think it's important, you don't have to write out full stories right now because, we're in a short little workshop. But what stories do you have that have to do with this, that are relatable? What stories? You were this way, then you did this, and now you have this. How did you get into what you're doing? Tell me some personal stories. Maybe it's a story how you help someone. Person X came to me. They were like this. They bought this product, and now they're like this. I'm going to stop sharing because I'd love to hear what some of the problems are that you solve. Who wants to share? We're gonna check. And this is, yes, Twist. Okay, Twist, my friend, she's in Ontario. Welcome to the Mike, Twist.
Friend. So one of the problems that I solve is that people get clear, or essentially get a clear message and story about how they can tell what they do to attract people quicker. So for example, I worked with a construction company, and instead of saying, I'm in construction, we turned that into, we create kitchens your neighbors want to have dinner in. And that changed everything for her. She ended up on HGTV after that.
Amazing. I love it. Anyone else want to share? And there's no right or wrong answers. Who's your ideal social media follower? Maybe you saying it out loud. Maybe all of us are some of your social media followers, and we're going to have a moment where we can share all of our links at the end. But who's your ideal customer? Julie, Hello, Julie. I'm calling on you because I know you. I know who your ideal customer is.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
My ideal customer is someone in pain.
Someone in pain.
Hmm.
Okay, so someone in pain, you want someone in pain to follow you. Because if they don't follow you, they're going to stay in pain.
They'll stay in the pain cycle.
Right, right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to create content. Yeah, what kind of pain? Twist wants to know what kind of pain, Julie.
Musculoskeletal. I'm a registered massage therapist.
Do they need to be in person?
At the moment, yes, but this is sort of where I want to take this.
Ah, virtual. Okay. And so for you, what are this hero, the person in pain? So I'm in lots of pain, like actually, and I'm your customer. I'm going to follow you on social media. And if I don't follow you on social media and I don't use your products and services, I may remain in pain. But what are some things that you can do on social media that's going to help me start to heal that pain, to make sure that I keep coming back to you?
So I'm seeing a repetition with so for example, I have an 80-year-old client whose goal, he's a flute player who sits out here. His goal is to sit in the dentist chair without pain. Now we've successfully done that goal, and he does it every single week. So even though I have a young client, they don't see the success that this 80-year-old man did. So what I would like to introduce is a weekly video. Here's your postural check-in, and we got to do this regular. If you don't come and see this video every single day or once a time a week, then you're not going to see that progress of being able to sit in the dentist chair without any pain. And you can do it yourself. I don't have to do it for you. You just have to come to me to see what you need to do.
Brilliant. I love that. And that's such a great story. Did anyone else, like, were you able to picture this 80-year-old man playing a flute? Because that's what I immediately pictured, like someone like my grandpa playing the flute and like wanting to not be in pain. So does anyone else have anything they want to share? Who your ideal customer is? What is the problem that you're solving? You want to just keep listening? That's cool too. Oh yes. Hello, Danny. Welcome to the screen.
Hi, I have a question actually.
Yes.
If you have a product or service that's one time only, so he's not going to be interested to follow you after doing their website, in my case, or doing their logo, and then he's done. So how are you going to keep that?
So would you say that someone who comes to you for something like a logo or website may never need graphic design again?
No. Yeah.
So what you're going to do?
Trying to arrange or extend my service to have him as in a social media contact or generate contact for. Sorry, my English is a second language.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, you try to keep your client in a different areas like social media or offering paper graphic design or things like that.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, even when it comes to logo and website, I've redone both of those many times and I go to the same person. And then also, you never know, like for example, if you're my web designer, I'm probably going to follow you on social media. And what you do is when you're putting out content, you stay top of mind. So when someone says, hey, Blair, do you know someone who does websites? I might say, yeah, oh, check out Danny. So there's that. There's, nurturing your current relationships, but also, maybe you start doing social media graphics, maybe you keep adding new services, but it's a place to build your community because I really don't believe there's a one-time customer in anyone. Unless it's like one of those, like, pans that, 100-year warranty, you never have to buy pan again type thing. But does that answer your question?
Great, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I was insecure to say that because it's hard. You have a limit on what you can do, right? So I thought that, how can I continue that? Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to share again and we're going to dive right back in to where I left off, which who knows where it is. Where did it go? There we go. Okay. Oops. So another thing, and this isn't a hack, this is optimization. Optimization is when you do the things you need to do, like use the features that exist so that when you create your bio, it is more searchable. Okay. So what I want you guys to do next time you're in social media is I want you to optimize your social media bios with keywords. What is a keyword? A keyword is a word that someone might be searching when they're looking for a service provider like yourself. So I just want to go through my Instagram bio. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I actually recently saw an article from the creator team at Instagram about your bios. So this isn't one of those secret things that, like, let's try and crack the code. It's, optimize your bio. So for example, if you have the opportunity to have your name or business name in your handle, your username, do it. I like to say, do as I say, not as I do, because I was doing social media before it was a thing. All my social media handles are different. And so in grade 9 at a house party, some of the older boys asked me my name, and I was, drinking and having fun. And I told them I'm Blair from Blairland. And that was a nickname that stuck. And so when Instagram came out, did I say, oh, I could use this for business? No, I said, I'm going to call myself Blair from Blairland. And so that's how it stuck. But luckily my name is in it. So my business name is in it, sort of. And here in my title, my name, I can say Blair Kaplan Venables. I could say social media expert. I put Blair social media mentor. Sometimes I switch it back to expert because I'm always testing new things out. You'll see my bio is always changing, and I think your bio should always be changing too, depending on what's going on in your world. But here I put social media mentor. Those keywords are extremely important because they are searchable. So if you're looking for Blair, you type in Blair on Instagram and you're not following me, does Blair from Blairland come up? Does Blair from Blairland come up if you just type in Blair and you scroll? There's a good chance that I'm going to come up and I'm going to be one of the first few searches, especially if we aren't connected, because I'm the only Blair from Blairland. Also in your bio, optimizing it, this is going to be really important too, about telling your story. Who are you? What are some wins? And what do? You have limited space in all of your bios, but for example, Facebook page, you can put a lot more than on your Twitter and your Instagram bio. LinkedIn, you have a lot of space. I'm focusing primarily right now on Instagram for this specific portion of the lesson, but I think it's really important to, one of the first few things you write is, what do you do? Empowering you to up-level your social media skills. To me, that is really important. I want people to land on my page and see that's what I do. I'm a mentor who empowers you to up-level your skills. I'm really proud of being featured in Forbes and Yahoo, so I included that. I'm the founder of the I Am Resilient Project. That is a community where we gather stories of and share stories of resilience. We're working on our first book. It's coming out this fall. Actually, we're starting pre-sales early October. Super exciting. I've been up since 6 working on my book. And so I'm really proud of that. So like a little bit of my passion project. I'm the podcast co-host for Dissecting Success. I think it's important to show diversity in there, but you know what? It always changes. For example, once I know when my book's going to come out, my bio is going to change. When I'm going to be doing a big launch soon for a coaching program, my bio is going to change. My bio is always changing depending on what's going on. I also think you need to make sure that you optimize this section here of highlights. Tell your story. Okay. Do all of these things have to do with my business? No, but they all have to do with me. So I can't click on this because it's a still shot, but if you go to my profile, you'll see I have highlights for gratitude. Every day at 9 p.m., I practice gratitude. My gratitude alarm goes off. I list 3 things I'm grateful for from the previous 24 hours. I've been doing that for over 5 years. I speak on it. I write on it. It's been a really integral, important way in me strengthening my resilience muscle. Mentions, this is whenever I'm mentioned in the media, I share it to my story and save it to a highlight. My first book, I documented the launch. My second book, I'm going to do the same. Again, cats, work from home tips. There's only one or two tips there. I maybe could delete that. And then here, obviously, put your photo or a logo of your business. And the other thing to optimize your bio is something like Instagram and on Twitter, you only can have one link. So are you using a link tree or a link in bio? This allows you to have one link that links to a page with multiple links. I think it's important to really redo your bio once you walk through your story brand, your framework. Like, who are you? Who is the hero of the story and what problem are you solving? And you can easily set that storyline up in your bios. Okay. So storytelling mode. Okay. How do we get into storytelling mode? Let people into your life. You could control how much you let people in, and you don't have to let people in to anything you don't want them to. And you can be a completely private person. I've worked with people who don't want their face shown on Zoom, who don't want to tell their story, what they're doing, where they are, and that is completely fine. But there are ways to do that without having to be so open and vulnerable. Or you can be like me and you can be a completely open book. And that is who I am. There are lots of things I don't, believe it or not, actually. There are lots of things I don't share. And some things that involve other people, I make sure I get permission first. And some people don't want things shared. Like my entire story, when it comes to my stories of resilience and building my business, there's certain stories in there where I leave people's names out or I change their names. And I make sure to really make sure that the stories I'm telling are going to help solve my customers' problems. Okay. Be authentic and real. Tell the truth, be real. You can make up a story if you want, but don't pretend it's a real story. But be a real person. People want to connect with real people, right? Hacking the algorithm. Maybe you're one of those people like me who's like, oh, I heard reels. You need to make reels to get more reach. I have no idea. And you spend hours scrolling for ideas and you save some audio and then you maybe make a video and you look at it and you're like, this is not me. Fuck this. That's me. Okay. I've made a very few reels. I did a couple, I'm not going to sing and dance. I did not go to theater because I did not like doing that. I have a face for radio. This is what I like doing. And yes, you know what? I can make reels doing exactly this. So why not? Right. And I do have some, I got really creative, but there's no right or wrong way to make reels, but I only do what I want to do. And then launching. Are you launching a product or a service? Okay. There are short launches and long launches. Let's talk about that for a second. Telling stories. I'm going to tell you two stories. Okay. One, I decided in the early months of the year that I was going to launch my first group coaching program called Empowerment. It's going to be a 6-month program teaching the social media empowerment pillars for thought leadership. And I'm going to launch it this October. It's going to start in November. And I started mapping this out in February. Okay. February. I mapped out exactly what I was doing for the launch, what type of content to post when and where, what ads to run, what words to use. I started mapping this out a very long time ago, and I've been seeding. I've been dropping the word empower in almost all my social media posts. I've been talking about what I can do. I've been leading workshops like this. I have been doing a very long launch with that. But then there are short launches. Let's talk about a short launch. Maybe it's you have a workshop coming up and 2 weeks out, you announce it. And then maybe you do a teaser and you then drop some branding, you tell a story and you do some hype and you only have 2 weeks to, do a launch. But throughout that whole launch, you're telling a story because everything we do for a reason. And if you're not sure of that reason, maybe take a step back and figure that out. Why are you doing this? And if it's, hey, I wake up every day and do what I do just because I need to make money and I'm super disconnected, how are you going to tell that story? Or maybe you tell that story because it's very relatable. I know lots of people who hate their jobs. They wake up, they go to their jobs doing XYZ to make all this money, but they're miserable. And that's relatable too, but I hope that's not you. And if it is you, let's talk, let's have some coffee. Okay. Always be seeding your products and services. Okay. So I wear a few different hats. Let's talk about, my podcast, Dissecting Success. So Teresa Lambert and I were friends from the business community in Whistler. We were having brilliant conversations about success. We decide, hey, these conversations are too good to keep to ourselves. Let's start a podcast. Okay. And we're only going to keep doing this as long as it's fun. And then people started reaching out to us. Do you guys do coaching? And we looked at each other and said, yes, we do. We do coaching, 2-to-1 coaching, group coaching. And we decided, let's do something called Momentum. We'll do a 6-month business accelerator. And leading up to that, let's do a free masterclass called Velocity. And so we started using the words momentum and velocity in our vocabulary on our podcast and on our social media. And we started to use that. And we use the word momentum all the time. If you listen to Dissecting Success, we're always using momentum and up level and empower. And I use my words as part of my language. So we are always seeding that. Always. So there's lots of things you can do. Think about the words you want associated with your business, the names of your products, the names of your services, the name of your business. How can you incorporate that into telling your story every time you show up on social media? Update all your social media bios and links. Okay. What is going on? What is the story you're telling? What is the end goal? And does your social media presence line up to that? Also, if you're like, whoa, Blair, how am I going to do all this? Write out your story, break it into, pieces, tell it, and then tell it again, and then tell it again. Repurpose content. You know how many times I've pulled a post I made 3 months ago, 3 years ago, and reposted it with a new photo or video? Many times, because you know what? If I spend that 20 minutes writing that epic post and I post it, how do I know that anyone's ever going to see it again once it's buried on my social media? I give you full permission to repurpose content. I give you full permission to repost content because you have some great things to say. But you know what? Sometimes on social media, you put it out there and you say it once and it's gone because it's a fleeting thought because we are so inundated with content. Maybe you make 20 posts that have to do with a specific formula and you just take that and you cycle through it over and over again. You change a few things. Okay. Tell your story and then tell it again and then tell it again and then tell it again. Over and over again. Repetition is important. Let's think back to when we used to watch TV with commercials or like hockey, for example. Beer. I don't drink, but like beer commercials, Molson commercials. Let's think about a hockey game, 3 hours. How many commercial breaks? Like a million, feels like. Always in this commercial break is like a different, maybe 2 or 3 of the same beer commercials cycling through, right? Sometimes you need to hear the same thing, actually all the time. You need to hear the same thing over and over and over again. Social media, when someone sees your post for the first time, they're not going to go immediately to your website, make a purchase. And if they do, please let me know because that's fucking phenomenal. You need to tell them a story and drop it in and drop it in and drop it in. You need to keep telling your story because people are going to keep following you. Some of you here today have been following along my story for years, right? Be that repetitious commercial. Tell that story over and over again. Again, you can run ads. Running ads is great if you have a budget. I recommend minimum $10 a week, but that just helps enhance the story you are telling. Don't run ads without a call to action, without like signing up, giving them, getting their email address or whatnot. Again, storytelling, use all the features on social media on each platform. You don't have to use them all. You don't have to use them all at once, but try them. Because you might say, you know what, Blair, I have a lot of trouble writing. I'm not really creative, but you might be able to get on camera and go live on Instagram and you love it. Maybe making videos is your jam. Then do that. Tell your story, show up, make videos. We just interviewed someone on our podcast and I went and checked out their social media and every single one of their posts on Instagram is a video of them talking to the camera. Show up how you want to show up and tell your story in the way you want to tell your story. And the type of posts you can make, tease like what's coming up. Like I got something big coming up. Like I have a big announcement in October and it's going to be really exciting for the I'm Resilient project. And I know really what I'm doing is I'm seeding because I'm going to be announcing my pre-sale, which is on a very important day in October. Brand reveal, maybe you're launching something for the first time. Maybe you got a new logo. Maybe you designed a fun mug for no reason, except that you drink lots of coffee. That'd be me. This is my mug. Behind the scenes, like my office, I've been sharing behind the scenes of my office coming together, my house coming together. I work from home and I haven't had a home for months. So I've been working in cars and offices and coffee shops and cabins and lakes. And I've been all over the place. And people have been following that, personal stories, client stories, testimonials. You can make quote graphics, part of your story, go to Canva, pull people's testimonials from Google and Facebook and make quote graphics, value posts, provide them a win, give them something they can do that's going to make them have a win. Sales posts, yes, 80-20 rule, blah, blah, blah. I hate that, but it's real. Sales posts, tell them a little bit of a story in a post, call to action to make a purchase. And map everything out ahead of time. Map it all out. Some people use big calendars. Some people use digital tools. I do it all. I'm a Post-it note girl. And right now, actually, I just bought a new tool I'm testing out. And if it's great, I will promote the crap out of it. But it's a book. I like handwriting things out. I like to look at a handwritten calendar of what's getting put out when. But map it out. If you know that on on 31st of October is Halloween, okay? And there's a big day for you because you are a manufacturer of organic, all natural candy corn. Please let me know if that exists. you're going to use that day to tell stories leading up to that day. I was addicted to candy corn, but it was really affecting my acne and psoriasis, and also basically eating pure sugar. So I looked for a creative solution, and I came up with this ingredient where it's avocados and carrots. I don't know. I don't cook. And you tell the story of how you came up with this organic, all natural candy corn leading up to Halloween, because candy corn is one of those ultimate Halloween candies, right? That's just a really bad example of now I want candy corn. But tell the story, let people in, engage them, tell that story leading up to the event, the holiday. So again, the empowerment pillars, edutain, all things content. And you don't have to work with me. And these are the pillars that I've built out and implemented, and in no specific order, they all have to work cohesively. But these are the pillars that I've built out, that I've really built out a strategy for each of these pillars, which has allowed me to run a business while managing personal life, work part-time, work full-time, have 5-figure days, 5-figure weeks, 5-figure launches, multiple 5-figure launches. So again, edutain, all things content. You need a content strategy, money, budget, financial goals. How much do you have to spend on ads? How much money do you want to make? I used to be scared about talking about that. Personas, who is the hero? Who's the hero to your story? Other players, who's your competition? And not because you're going to take their clients, but you want to know who's getting your clients money if you're not. Maybe you want to do a partnership with them. I don't know. Wins, PR, exposure, publicity. You want to be known as the thought leader. Do you have a publicity, a PR strategy? Engagement strategy. Yes, that's a thing. When are you going to engage on social media? How long are you going to do it for? How often? And goals. What are your personal goals? What are your health goals? What are your professional goals? Are you going to, how are those all supporting your end goal? Because all your goals in business, all your goals in your personal life and your health goals, they all work together, right? We're not in silos anymore. We're all encompassing. Like, social media has been the thing that's connected us. So when you are telling stories on social media, think about all of these things. If you are telling a story, is it edutaining? Is it entertaining and educating? Is it helping you get towards your financial goals? Are you helping a hero? Are you helping the hero of your story solve a problem? Do you think your competitors are looking at you with a jaw drop like, wow, they're doing some epic shit? Is this potentially going to help you be a thought leader and stand out from your competition? Maybe bring in Forbes or bring in Dissecting Success and want you to come on their publication to share your story. Are you engaging so that other people see that you're a real person and they find your content? And is everything you're doing helping you work towards your goals? You want to keep learning from me? I'll drop this link in the chat. And I have a free social media checklist package. It's for stress-free social media management each week, each day, each week, each month. And in the follow-up email to this, I'm going to be leading a free masterclass, which is going to be on October 10th. It's a Sunday. It's also a big day for me because I can't tell you why, but an I'm Resilient announcement's coming out about that day. But October 10th is going to be a big day. It's a Sunday. I don't usually work weekends, but I'm going to do a free masterclass on Sunday. Show up as you are. Big day. But yeah, I just really want to thank you all for coming. And I want to open the floor to questions about telling your story. I'm just looking at the chat. Someone had to go. That's okay. All the cats. I love cats. Julie likes my link tree. Yes. Okay. Maria has a question. How is this different from a business that's not a personal brand? Right. So Maria, are you still? Yes, you are. So actually, Maria, are you open to just chatting? Okay. So Maria, why don't you let everyone know what your business is?
So I founded a nonprofit 2 years ago, and it provides postpartum support for moms in need. But we've curated a gift box. So it's a product that we sell. And for every gift box that we sell, we donate one to a mom in need. So that's the tricky part for me, is like,
No, I think it's just telling the stories of, and I'm sure you're going to have the two types of people you help: the ones who don't want anyone to know they're getting help, and the ones that are so excited they're going to tell everyone that you've helped them.
Right. Okay.
And then the brands that are happy to be a partner with you. Those are the stories you tell. Tell the story of why you started this. Share those statistics, right? Share the statistics. And, I can help you out.
Okay.
Actually, I'm just going to do a little shameless plug. So I'm actually, so Social Media Camp is Canada's largest social media conference. And since they can't do in person, they've been doing online summits. And on September 22nd, it's a social media summit for not-for-profits. And I'm actually moderating a panel, and Maria's on the panel. I believe tickets are only $49 and you have access to a whole bunch of content. The website, socialmediacamp.com. I don't know, Maria, do you want to look it up and drop it in the chat?
Yeah, I will for sure do that.
So Maria's actually going to be on the panel and I'm going to moderate it, but you think it's sold out, Julie? I don't know if it is. I don't think it's sold out. Maria's going to look. Okay. So yeah. So Social Media Camp, it's a social media for nonprofits. Anyways. And if you're not a nonprofit, it's only $49, and anything that like you're there to learn is applicable to for-profit businesses as well. But I've been in the nonprofit space for a very long time, and social media is one of the most powerful tools a not-for-profit can have. So anyone else have any questions or comments? Well, I want to invite you to block off. I don't know what time yet, but there's the link there. Maria just dropped it in. I want to invite you to watch out for the email for the October 10th announcement. I'm going to send out the replay. If you're watching this replay, you're not going to get another replay because that's silly. In the chat here is my links. I invite you all to connect with me on social media. I'm going to be announcing in the next few days the empowerment program. I'm really excited. I've been teaching this on a one-on-one setting and in workshops for years. And this is my first time launching a group coaching program of this size. It's going to be super epic. I have set it up so it's payment plans or one-time payment. I'm going to send all that email information out in an email. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to learn how to tell stories and F the algo with me. It's kind of, thanks. And any other final questions or comments?
No, thank you very much. I love the storytelling idea. I love that because that's what I'm all about. So
yes.
I love that. Now to sit down and write them, these stories, that's the thing, is sitting down and getting that done. So.
And you know what? I'm just going to say, like, if you're someone who's on a time crunch and you're like, oh, I don't have time to write it, record the audio on your phone and put it over an image. Get on and make a video. If you're having a good hair day, like, make some videos. And not, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to all be done with writing, because not all of us like writing.
I love to do videos.
So Tracy, do videos. That's your jam.
Yeah. I love to do videos.
Jen Lawrence, tell your stories. Jen, hi. Oh my gosh, I love it. And Twist, first of all, everyone, if you're not following Twist, please follow Twist. Why don't we all drop our I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks for everyone who's watching this in the future. And if you are here, you have the benefit of dropping your contact info in the chat so we can all connect with one another.